Yo, what's going on, guys? Aspect Gaming here. Back once again on GregTech New Horizons, this time in a relatively new world. So last time that you guys saw me, I was in a totally different world, and that was a few months ago. But since then, mistakes were made, and we had lost the previous world. So I grinded to make my way back to where I was, essentially, and I'm about there. So I just got to HV, so I figured now would be a good time to pick up and start recording again and get back into the swing of things. So yeah, this world, I picked a pretty cool spot, I think, and I've kind of did a lot of work recently to build the base out. This is what I got from the outside right now, and eventually this is going to be something to be really proud of, because I think it's going to be really cool. But for now, it's very much a work in progress. So the color palette, I kind of went with what I used last time, but I'm going even harder with it. And I've added in this new sections where I have these white floors and walls, and it looks kind of cool. It's very laboratory-esque, and I'm enjoying it. And I've also found a trick where if you get forged microblocks, you can cut pieces of glowstone to be like very small little trims like this, little strips, and you can kind of hide them and they give off a lot of light. So I'm using that all over the place. Another cool little thing that I'm doing is these blocks here are sort of signifying the tier that I was in when I made these sections. So this is like steel colored and this is aluminum colored. The MV era did really not need a lot of machines, so I made sure to make this room much smaller. I'm at Canthal coils. I'm going to be going to Nichrome not soon, but eventually. I kind of have a lot of work to do before I can get to there because you need EV power to make the Nichrome coils, and I'm gonna blow through my oil supply so quickly I can't afford to do that. So over here is like simple automations that got me through LV and MV. So this is all oil processing. So we have two distilleries for heavy fuel, three for light fuel. I could have done with another one for light fuel because I forked it off and I'm making polyethylene out of light fuel. Last time I had an extra distillery that made naphtha. I didn't do that this time just for the sake of saving space, but it might have been a mistake. So it's probably more worth it for me to just add an extra distillery line right over here and make naphtha, but it's a little bit too late because I'm going to be, I guess, sunsetting this whole system pretty soon. But whatever. So, yep, a lot of polyethylene. Made sure to have everything passive this time. And we can see I have multiple sources of oxygen, one of which is like renewable. It just kind of runs as long as if I'm AFK, so it's just an electrolyzer. Actually, I think it lost the cells that it was using. Maybe it did. Maybe it doesn't need them. I forget. There's so many recipes. But yeah, this electrolyzer runs and fills this with oxygen. And I actually get a lot of oxygen. I need to get rid of some, actually. As we see, I have 5 large aluminum cells full of it, so I need to make a super tank. But yeah, we have oxygen coming in here. Cells, they react with this, and then they get pulled out with a automatic output and then sent back into this, and then they become blank cells, and then they get filled again, down in the hopper, back into the machine. So this is just an easy little loop before you have good ways to automate this. I've been using this a lot in this sort of area. You'll see this here too, and a bunch of them tucked away over there. And yeah, that's how I'm making polyethylene right now. Otherwise, I'm just making diesel fuel, so again, another system. I got these for my quest reward, I'm pretty sure, so I'm using this just configured fluid tank. And we're totally full right now, actually, so that's pretty good. I used to have all my steam machines over here, but I'm kind of in the middle of reworking this area. As we can see, it's kind of very much a work in progress. And I have a whole bunch of solar boilers up here. Just hop on up. This got me through the early game. So I have 8 of these high pressure solars. Probably could have made more, but I got away with 8. And then I made this thing to supplement it. It's a 3x3 2 tall steel steam boiler. I did some calculations of how much steam this would create to make sure that I made just the right size one for what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do was run the blast furnace 24/7. So instead of directing the coal directly into this time, though, I have a little bit of a buffer. So I just dump a bunch of coal blocks in here, or charcoal blocks in here when I'm ready. And I make them over here. Might as well collect this while I'm at it. So yeah, for these brick blast furnaces, I'm going to keep using these because of just how awesome they are. Because I'm making tons of charcoal blocks pretty much automatically. Every now and then, usually every day, I just got to refill that with a diamond and some charcoal. I got to refill this advanced spoiler every now and then too. But you make tons of charcoal blocks, and this will convert, as you saw, 60 iron at a time. So you just let it run for a while, then you come back to basically 4 stacks of steel. It is pretty great. And then this won't overuse the charcoal either. So you can put a whole bunch in here and be pretty happy about it. The advanced spoiler, that is. I believe that once it gets to a minimum heat, it won't overproduce if it doesn't have to. If I planned better, I could have ran a little bit of steam over here, but it's whatever. It's okay. It would have been expensive to get a separate steam line just for one turbine. And this thing actually uses like I think 2 EU a tick to do this recipe, so you can put a lot of other machines on this line. So if you want to do something, say, recycle your saplings as well and ferment them, you can definitely do that as well. And I messed up this loop. I need to make another block, I think, because I couldn't automatically supply fuel to this, but it's alright. And while I'm talking about saplings, I need to void a whole bunch of them. I have no use for these right now, and I really don't plan on having one, so... And we're pretty much full on wood, so yeah, it was just that it was out of power. And yeah, it just runs eternally. I have a lot of charcoal blocks now, probably getting to the point where I don't need to do this anymore, but yeah. I'm going to be moving my crops over here, because as we can see, the biome in the top right over here is a lush swamp. This actually, I didn't even realize it, but it's one of the best biomes for doing crops, so I'm going to move it all over here. I gotta chop this down. I want more great wood. It's probably gonna go up in the sky somewhere over here. I really don't want to do that. I need to run some numbers and see if I have to put it up in the sky, because I want things to look nice. Like I want things to look pretty in this world. Like if you're not in a place that you enjoy being in, you're not gonna enjoy this pack. And you don't want to make it a chore for yourself to expand and build things, so. Because once you get to that, whenever you gotta make a new machine or a new setup, you're like, shit, I gotta build a whole, like, building for this. Like, you're not gonna want to do that. So my goal is to get, like, a palette like this and just start going off with it. And I love this color palette. So let's take a look around more parts of the base while we're at it. Let me put some stuff away. This is vanadium. So right now I'm waiting on my extruder. God, I hate this thing. But it takes 1,536 seconds to extrude each of these parts. I want to upgrade a lot of tools, so kind of just waiting on this. I think I actually need one more large plate than I'm making right now, but I'll decide that in like over 3,000 seconds, so I'll see y'all then, but I'm almost to the point where I can do what I wanted to. I'm making 2 cleaver heads because I want to make 2 different cleavers. One for beheading and one for general usage, so that's a bit overkill. You don't have to do that, but I just love cleavers, so I'm going to go all out with it. Before this is done as well, I want to get into Thaumcraft to make thaumium, what is it, bindings, I think, is what you need to make them out of. But if you make tool bindings out of thaumium, and I think bindings are the best because they only give the modifiers. They don't give like a multiplicative thing to your tool's mining speed or durability. It might do durability, but it's not as important when you get into numbers like fucking this. Especially for a cleaver, but... What was I saying? I don't even remember. I just want to upgrade my tools. Oh yeah, the thaumium. If you use it, it gives you an extra modifier. So I want to do some Thaumcraft to get to there. I haven't touched Thaumcraft at all, but I have some new ideas of how to get through it in a more efficient manner this time, so... this is the bottom level of the base. This is where HV and above is going to be going. I've kind of been experimenting with a layout for this, and I really haven't found one that I like yet. As you can see, I dug out quite a bit of area just in case, because I thought I would have wanted to go down, but I don't think I want to go down. Maybe I, like, kind of do. Maybe I'll drop this down a couple blocks and make, like, I put machines under here, machines in that wall, machines in that wall, machines in this wall. Like that'd be kind of cool, actually. Not a bad idea. And then I could put these catwalks that I've been seeing around, all around the edges. Maybe that's a good idea, because that would buy me more space. Because when you have a hallway, you don't want to put machines in the fucking in the middle of the walkway. That sucks. You want to put machines like in the walls. And if I go down like this, I could buy myself 2 walls. Yeah, just talking, dude, talking through things like this always gives me better ideas. So I'm gonna keep working on this room. This roof is a work in progress as well. I don't know if I like it or not. I kind of want to go for like a gigaplex, like a gigaplex rip-off kind of roof. Maybe I'll use the stone slabs and like the slits where you can see the sky, because you need a little bit of natural light in here. And I'm also, this is the edge of the base, so the mountain, the middle part of the mountain is gonna be where I want like all the cozy general use stuff to be. So I want that to be warmer, hence the warmer color of the great wood. And I want the rest of it to be to spiral out as a very laboratory-esque part of the base. And then, as we can see, I have this like giant courtyard over here where I've made this big circle. So we can go down here, turn it on. So the circle actually ends right over here, like perfectly. But I don't think I'm going to use that half of it. I just want to go over here, and I want to make some kind of wall, maybe. I don't know if I'm going to make a wall per se, but something. I just want a sort of barrier to make this big courtyard. I'm gonna put all kind of trees here. Maybe put my witchery stuff down here. I just feel like I needed a bit of a natural touch. And I want to have all kind of like bridges and overhangs. Those things are loud. So, like just bridges and overhangs going over across to the other side, where I'm gonna have like, I'm definitely gonna have crops over here. So all my crops are gonna go over here. And I have very elaborate plans to automate the harvesting, management, the processing of all the crops. I want to go hard. Like I want to have some fun and do like the what are they called? Like farro or whatever. Yeah. So the farro leaves, for example, you can put these in a chemical reactor with any kind of iron, and you get bonus products. So you make 4 purified ores, and sometimes you get an extra thing. And that's guaranteed. Like that happens 100% of the time. So automate that, automate these leaves, and then you can get all kind of extra stuff. Like I don't know why I've never been like determined to do that before, but it's a really great recipe. I don't even think the LCR is worth. I gotta look at these more. But yeah, you can multiply meteoric iron. I remember looking for this, and like when I was on the moon in my first playthrough, it was so rough. But if I multiply that times 4, like I would have to I'd have to find 1 meteor and be like done. Like it's not even a joke. That's probably an exaggeration, but it would save me time. Like all my progress is multiplied by 4. So other stuff, I'm hoping to phase these out soon. I'm gonna start doing the crossbreeding to get stickreed. Stickreed is the most important thing to get to. I kind of got some other seeds. This is as far as I got. I was doing my crossbreeding. Oh, my bad, I tabbed that by accident. I was doing my crossbreeding. Oh, I gotta change my home. By the way, I use /home. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care if it's like cheaty or whatever. I'm just tired of. I don't have time to waste, so. I was doing it right over here, and I really like this setup of like a room, so I might try to mimic this over there. And there's all my crops here. But then I realized I did this in the canyon, and my crops were literally dying. The canyon is one of the worst biomes for this. So it's gonna get moved over here. And then the lush swamp begins over here. So somewhere over here where I'm definitely safe from accidentally building into the canyon, I'll pick a spot. So I just need to make sure I know where the biomes are at. So yeah, that's kind of the tour of where I'm at so far. Oh, just some extra rooms over here too. Tinker Smelter went over here. I gotta make a room in the middle of this. I'll probably put a roof right here and maybe do something with this. I don't know. But I also made sure to leave a bunch of space in between everything, so that I have this like maintenance room, which is kind of like a forbidden back rooms looking kind of thing in between the 2 floors. But I'm already running all kind of pipes in here, so it's a very good idea to include something like that in your base planning designs. So always improving, always getting new ideas. This is where we're at right now. And I've only played about 5 or 6 days on this so far, so my game time's kind of low, but it's definitely going to be going up a lot more soon. The first matter of business today is upgrading all of my tools. So I already threw on the vanadium steel head for the pickaxe and the hammer, and it improved their durabilities by a lot, as well as the mining speed. I'm up to mining speed of 40 on my pickaxe. That's like one tick mining. Literally instant. So honestly, it's a little bit fast for me, but we'll see. So I saw on the wiki that there's this material called Aeon steel. This is made from cobalt and alumite. I've never seen this before. But apparently it makes the best tool rods for the cleaver, so let's see. 14 hearts. 12,960. There's really no difference. I guess maybe it's just has reinforced on it. We'll do that because then I'll get the modifier. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. It looks better this way, I think. I changed my mind too. I'm only going to make one cleaver. I don't really need it. I'm going to make a crossbow, so it kind of doesn't matter anyways. So the hammer is going to get improved next. That doesn't make a difference. I think, yeah, I have an obsidian plate on this. So it ups my mine speed from 19.93 to 21.6. Okay. And that just increases durability. We'll do that. I don't need to increase the durability. I guess I have an extra tough rod. I'll leave it in there for now. Okay. So I'm gonna be making this a beheading cleaver. And basically the reason I want to do that is that pretty soon I'll be wanting wither skulls for nether stars, but not quite right now. But it's good to just do it ahead of time, because while I'm at it, I might as well make a whole bunch of stuff. And we'll put away the rest of this. To make this, by the way, you can't just smelt cobalt dust in here. You gotta make a new ingot and then put it through. So you had to blast furnace it, which wasn't much of a problem. Alright, I'm back. And one of the first things on my list for things to do in early HV right now is find a way to get automated gold. And there's something else that I just discovered, so I'm out here kind of out in the water in front of my base. Gonna collect a whole bunch of this algae. I'm gonna get to 32 of it, then we're gonna see what we're gonna do with it. So I didn't know that this was in the game. I always thought that the only way to farm glowstone was with glow flowers, I believe they're called, and you find them in the nether. But there's actually another way, and that uses this algae. So you can craft this with a glowstone to get glowing coral, and extract these to get glowstone. That's pretty cool too. You can get Sunarium out of these later. Yeah, let's head home. That is not how you type home. Thought I had more than that. That's a shame. It might be somewhere else. It's not like I'm using my glowstone. I guess I am, actually. So, yeah, now I'm going to try to plant this. I'm wondering if I could put it on crop sticks or not. I'm not positive, but I forgot that I got rid of my crops here. And they're just a gaping hole where they used to be. So I'm going to have to make a new building over there. I've also put in a bunch of work building this expansion back here. I'm still kind of filling it out, but this is where I'm going to be expanding multi-blocks into, at least for the foreseeable future. And this could be expanded this way, and I'm probably going to put HV machines, like a little workshop over here. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I guess I'm gonna start working on the. This can be broken. I guess I'm gonna start working on my crops because at this point I need them. Yeah, before I get into H3, I want to make sure that I have a very sustainable source of gold because as we can see here, I'm a little bit broke. So 13 is not gonna cut it. So any sort of glowstone automation is gonna be the way to go about this. So what I'm thinking right now is that I shouldn't destroy that. This is the only axis I have up here right now. What I'm thinking is I'm going to scope out. I think this is all lush swamp right here for quite a while. I'm just going to fly around and see if I hit a canyon biome, which doesn't look like I am. Oh, there's one over here. A little bit of a patch, like right somewhere over here. Yeah, here it is. That's so weird. I guess it's just where the dry dirt is. But up over here, it kind of looks like we're good. Let's check over here. I'll have to mark it out because I'm looking at the biome up here and it's kind of weird where it is. In this area right here, this is all swamp, so maybe in this general area I'm gonna make some kind of farming station sort of building where I can crossbreed and still have it attached to the main base. And then for the actual fields of OP crops, we can put them up high maybe. Again, I need to look at that and see if I actually have to do it or not. Yeah, that's the next project. Alright, so I have a new little wing to the base starting off over here for the farming sections. And I'm planting a whole bunch of glowing earth coral down here, which is just the glowing coral that I've been working on. So you see I harvest and I get the glowing coral even though it's a different name. But I'm kind of just trying to breed it out a little bit to increase my stats. I don't really care about the stats of the coral that much, but I'm going to keep an eye on the sugarcane and try to get them up. So, yeah, it's kind of where I'm at right now. Ooh, did I get one of them go already? That was really quick. Let's scan it. That is a 022. Interesting. Yeah, essentially, I'm going to be using this pad as a crossbreeding area, which I do in like a very unorganized, messy way where I just start going like bit by bit. Whenever I find a good one, I'll cross a different one to it. And I just sort of go with the flow in like diagonals like this. But I'm going to be making a farming specific area over here for automations. And maybe I should even get one over here to help water my plants and fertilize them, but I'm going to make this guy called the Crop Manager. And this is a relatively new machine that harvests your crop sticks for it. And it can also hydrate, fertilize, and use Weed X. So the Weed X isn't necessary if you have a full field. As the only Weed X is only necessary if you have empty crop sticks like this. And it reduces the amount of weeds you can get. I don't think there's a downside to it. I'm pretty sure that's like a Minecraft urban legend that using Weed X hurts your plants, but I don't remember correctly. I'm not a certified professional on this aspect of the game yet. But I do know that if you have a full field of crops, you will have no chance to get weeds. So I'm going to make a... Let me just sleep. I'm going to make this crop manager. And we can see how little power this uses. So it says that it consumes 4 EU per harvest. Do you realize how infrequent a harvest happens? Even in like a 5x5, even in a 5 radius of this machine. And then it consumes 1 EU per secondary operation. This thing barely uses any power, especially at low voltage. So I'm wondering if I can maybe get away with... No, this is going to be painful. I can't do this. Yeah, these take robot arms. No, there's no shot. But if I wanted to, I could try to get away with a higher tiered crop manager and still send it like renewable LV power. And I also, like I said, just renewable. I want to make this like entire wing of the base totally renewable off of the plants it's growing. So I want there to be a field of crops that's dedicated to essentially farming itself to make biodiesel, hopefully. I haven't really looked into what it takes to make biodiesel, but let's Let's take a look together right now. Sodium hydroxide, that's easy to make. It's just sodium and water, I think, together. Yeah, am I getting sodium from anything? I feel like, does it come from... Oh, there's so many recipes. Okay, you do get it from salt, so I'm gonna need a lot of salt. I'm gonna have to electrolyze a lot of salt because I'm gonna need a lot of chlorine. And I plan on going big with this because I want to get a lot of polytetrafluoroethylene, which is C2F4, which is a plastic required to make large chemical reactors. And I'm gonna go hard on that early before it bites me because I always avoid making these, or I just avoid getting... I'm lazy with these, but I want to go hard on it this time. Because large chemical reactors, or LCRs for short, are much better than regular chemical reactors. Mostly for the reason that you can import fluids into them in this way instead of having to have these cells in here. So I would be able to avoid having those weird setups that I had inside the base in the oil setup where I'm like pumping stuff around with hoppers and fluid tanks. You can just put all the fluids in here and it makes it super simple. This is an interesting recipe. Yeah, this is kind of looking like the route to go for biodiesel, and then you get glycerol as a byproduct. When I made biodiesel, you got a lot more glycerol than this. The yield was a lot worse than this. I was probably just making shit, though. What do I use glycerol for? You can make sulfuric acid and glycerol trinitrate. Ooh, yeah, this makes explosives. Pretty low tier explosives, though. Or you could just break it down and get a whole bunch of its base components. So carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. Yeah, dynamite kind of sucks. That's pretty lame, not gonna lie. I actually did... I heard that they down-tiered the GregTech++ stuff. That's IV. I don't know if that one got down-tiered. But I heard that a lot of it became available earlier in the game, so I have to look into that. Because the multi-block stuff, I barely got into it in my first playthrough, but I really enjoyed them. But yeah, this recipe, seed oil and methanol. How can I get methanol right now? Fermented biomass. Or wood vinegar. I get wood vinegar. Distillation tower of charcoal byproducts. Okay, that's the only way. Pyrolyze oven, wood. So that's interesting, actually. So I do want to make benzene. That's what I think I want to make my primary source of power. So maybe I can have one of those set to that. Oh, this is getting complicated quick. The chemicals are getting ridiculous already. My brain is reeling. Because now I press U on this and I see a like 7-block tall distillation tower worth of shit in my future, and that's not even the one that I wanted. I gotta do some spreadsheeting and some math. Let me check on my crops. I don't want to get a weed. We did get a weed. We got 2 of them actually. Oh boy, yeah, that's a lot to think about. There's actually other ways to do it too than I saw. So we can make fish oil, seed oil, and then ethanol I can make with ethylene. Well, that's easy. Ethylene steam. It's probably a better recipe though, right? Why does hydrazine have not capitalized? Oh, that's super easy. That's an HV chemical reactor, but we can do that. And then you make the ethanol and the biodiesel with fish oil or seed oil. So seed oil is probably gonna be what we go with. I forget what the #1 crop was, and it's not rapeseed. But you can, because yeah, this one technically has the highest yield, but I'm pretty sure there's ways to go higher. Like, I think it might have been pumpkins, where if you make this elaborate pumpkin farm, you can get a lot more seeds. It might even been melons too. Let me see. Yeah, you pulverize each pumpkin for 4 pumpkin seeds. And you can get multiple pumpkins per. So I feel like I saw something about pumpkins with that to get seed oil. I gotta start writing stuff down. But that's kind of looking like the plan. So I'm gonna expand the base outwards in this direction. Get some of the crop managers. Maybe I'll make like, I don't want to say 4 of them. That's a lot of fucking robot arms, but I'll see. Maybe I can do 2 for now and see where that takes me. And then we're gonna think about biodiesel. So I'll see what I can do with this. And if we can get this whole base running on this whole part of the base running on a loop where we're creating infinite biodiesel for it, I'd really like that. And that'd be really cool. And then for the main base, I'm going to use different power sources, like say like benzene or eventually like nuclear reactors and fluid nukes and stuff. So yeah, gonna do a little bit of planning, a little bit of building, and I'll be back. Okay, I see what's going on here. So you need to press this button to make it water the crops. So I'm gonna see I scanned all of them with my scanner, which I'd recommend making pretty early in HV if you're gonna do crops. Otherwise, it's not that worth it. But I scanned them all, so now we can see they all have water 200 in the bottom right in my massive Wayla box. And then on the top of this now, I can do a conveyor module. So now it'll automatically harvest. Yep, it already got some. And it popped them out. So I actually want to put this in the bottom, though. Okay, we're being annoying already. How do I want to do this? I'm just going to move it all back a block. Actually, that doesn't work. These are both coming in at the same line. Well, let's test. Can I put the conveyor here? Yes, I can. So what this is kind of saying to me is I need to think about how I'm routing this better. So water should come in from a different angle, basically. And the steam was okay where it was. Just needs to go up a block. There. So now I can reroute this. I need creative flight so badly the way that I'm building. I want there to be plenty of room to walk underneath stuff and see what's going on, so. See, but now I want to do, yeah, this is what I want to do. Because now I do have the flexibility to move the cable. Jesus Christ, what is going on? Why are we connecting? So yeah, those pipes automatically connected, and the steam got in the wooden pipes, and it's too hot for the wood, so it's blowing them up. Okay, we're all connected up. I actually guessed the correct way to place that. I'm insane at this game. Okay, now we have power again. And now we just need water. But I think I put the pipes away, so I need to get more. I'll shutter the pipes to make it flow in one direction sometime later. So I'm gonna do the item filtering with barrels probably. Which means I will need more barrels. I'm only using these because I like them aesthetically compared to the alternatives. I feel like I should have more than I do. I only need one for now. That's gonna go straight into here. Nice, we got the coral coming out automatically now. So from here, I'm gonna do a hopper and do an extractor. And then we have automated glowstone. I have a bookmarked. So I'm gonna do an extractor, 2 EU protect to get glowstone, and then the glowstone goes in a centrifuge. This is an MV recipe. It's a little bit annoying. So maybe I'll. That's actually throwing. That's throwing me off right now. I forgot about this. Okay, I know what to do though. I need to get this biodiesel going. There's a lot of steps to this process here. But for now, we have the corals passived. The extractor will be able to go on the same line. And then we'll just need a little bit of fuel to get the MV stuff going. And from there, we're gonna have to smelt down the gold. Which I could use steam for that as well. And then the redstone, we'll buffer some redstone. Maybe get a barrel full of redstone. But we also want to start centrifuging it. Then you get silicon, which is nice. Pyrite, that's iron and sulfur. And then ruby, which is the thing that I really want to passive. And then eventually, I'm going to make this ruby juice. I've never heard of this before. I can't use that ruby dust, actually. That ruby dust is different. But when I'm processing regular ruby, you can make ruby juice. Maybe I could. Let's see. No, you can't. But this stuff is you make it and then you put it in an MV centrifuge and you get a guaranteed chrome from each ruby, which that's insane. So we'll definitely take advantage of that. And you get HCl out of it. So free chlorine is nice. It's probably not free though. Yeah, we are using sodium hydroxide. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do. I'm definitely going to go for ruby juice early because you need so much chrome. And if you don't... I don't know when this got out of the game, but if you don't have chrome, you can't do anything in HV, so... Yeah, ruby juice is going to be something that I'm setting up quite soon. As soon as I get this gold going. See, why am I not harvesting? We need to be harvesting. Are we okay? We have no power. Why don't we have power? So we have no steam. Because this shit is filled with water. I don't know how that happened. There we go. Now we should be harvesting. And wow, this is going to fill up pretty quickly, actually. Even though they're 111s, like, I'm getting a lot. Probably need more than one extractor. Jeez, I harvested them all instantly. Yeah, we'll see what the rates look like. I'll just do one, and if I need more, I'll just keep adding more. Yeah, that's going to do us in for today. First episode back in a while. Hopefully I've skipped past the boring parts. Getting to something interesting. And if you guys have any ideas that I could do better, let me know, because I'm still learning. I'm not a professional at GregTech like other YouTubers maybe. But yeah. Any tips, let me know. Love to see your comments, so let me know what you think, and I will see you all next time. Have a good day.